But I think it's so important. Music is not only about success, money, power, it's also excitement and to be curious and to have fun. Why not? Yeah. And to explore. For me, music is more like science. Yeah. It's not only entertainment. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
It's important to explore something new. Yeah.
Mm.
And I think that is also why experimental music is so necessary for this world, because we are exploring, finding new sounds, new possibilities.
Good morning, Mia. It's so great to meet you here on Zoom.
Good morning.
So tell me, where are you based?
I'm actually based now in Southern Styria at the Klanghaus Untergreith.
Okay, and
but I'm from Vienna originally. Yes.
Oh, you were born in Vienna.
I was born. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And your music career, did it start here in Vienna?
Yes, in Vienna. Mm-hmm.
Mm. So, do you come from a musical family? Where did the love for music start?
Yes, my mother was a piano teacher at the music school in Vienna, and my father was a music enthusiast.
Okay. And did you ever also play the piano?
I tried, but it was not possible with my mother teaching me the piano. It didn't. Okay. So I made the decision, no piano, I want to study the violin.
Yeah. And many musicians tell me this, that the violin or that the instrument that they chose had something to do with the sound of the instrument, that they loved the sound, that they heard the instrument and that they loved the sound. So was it the same for you with the violin?
It was the same for me. I was a very, very little child at the age of 6 or 7. I have been to the Konzerthaus or the Musikverein in Vienna together with my parents, and I discovered just the first row of the orchestra with the violin players. And I said, I want to discover this instrument, because I had no idea how it was possible to create sounds with a piece of wood and a stick.
And then did your parents agree to let you do lessons then?
Yes, they said, okay, if you want to learn the violin, why not? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But so taking music lessons, and then did you study here at the NDW, or where did you study your violin?
I studied first, of course, at the Vienna Music School, and then at the Conservatory.
Okay.
At the Vienna Music Conservatory. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you do amazing things with the violin. You've really experimented with the sound that the violin makes. When did this inquisitiveness start, that you wanted to explore the different sounds?
I mean, I have this classical music background. I also have been playing with a jazz band for several years in my early years. Mm-hmm. And then I studied electroacoustic music at the MDW and composition. And I discovered that I have the possibility to create new sounds on my instrument. Sounds which also the composers didn't discover. So this is my approach, to discover totally new sounds, either on the acoustic violin or the electric violin with electronic devices.
interesting that I've never thought about, but yes, that the musician who actually plays the instrument knows more where to go with the instrument than, say, for instance, the composer who has, I'm not saying every composer, but composers who have only the knowledge of the instrument, but you are actually playing the instrument, you can take it to a different level.
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the jazz, when you said first you started playing with a jazz band and so on, as a classical musician, was that easy for you to play jazz? Because jazz has that improvisation element in. Was it easy for you to do that?
Of course, at the beginning it was not easy, because if you teach to read scores, you just can read scores.
Yeah.
You are not able to play free, to improvise. But it took some time, and then it became easier for me. Yeah. And especially the rhythm, I liked the groove of jazz music very much, and I was totally into it. Yeah.
And
The
of course,
phrasing.
now carry on.
Yeah, I think classical musicians sometimes have the problem to make their music grooving, but for me it was no difficulty.
Do you think playing jazz makes you play classical music differently?
That's a good question. I've never thought about this issue, but maybe yes. Maybe it also influenced my classical approach. Yeah.
Because in jazz, that freedom to play, and also what I've also spoken to jazz musicians, and even the other day I spoke to a jazz dancer, and it's that thing where it's musicians. It's almost like you're at a party, and the musicians are playing together, and they're bouncing off each other. Is that something that you also enjoyed?
Absolutely, especially in free improvised music. For me, I mean, I really love jazz music, but for me, it was too not free enough. You know, I couldn't express myself individually. I had to stick in these patterns, in these harmonic patterns also. And the free improvisation gives me really the freedom to discover the violin in a totally different way.
And for the audience, do you think was it difficult for the audience to accept the music?
I don't think it's difficult for the audience. It's difficult to bring the audience to the concerts because they don't know our music well enough. But if they are in the space, it's very, very easy to create a communication between us, the players, and the audience. It's really floating.
Okay, yeah.
Floating energy.
And you said that you also studied the electronics or into electronic music then?
Yes.
What was that? Was that because of the fact that you didn't feel free enough playing jazz?
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm also an electroacoustic composer. So my approach was to combine both the free improvisation and the electroacoustic music.
think people understand that, or that we have the perception of the violin only belongs in an orchestra, or the violin only belongs to classical music? Is that something that we have to change our minds about, that this is not just a classical instrument?
Absolutely, especially in Vienna.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's because it's this, this big music tradition and the violin. But for example, in the US or the UK, it's normal to play the violin like a rock instrument. It makes no difference. Yeah.
Yeah, and you also, in folk music or in country music in America, they also have, well, I don't know, is there a difference between a violin and a fiddle, because it's the same type of instrument then that they use?
It's absolutely the same instrument, but in the classical music we say violinist. In the folk music it's the fiddle. Yeah,
the fiddle. Okay.
Or the Geige in German. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you are now doing concerts, and what can people expect from your concerts? What do you?
I think they never know what they can expect, because I'm working in so different fields. If I'm working with the acoustic violin, it sounds totally different. For me, it's the same approach, but maybe for the audience, they get something different. With the electroacoustic, with the violin and the electroacoustic instruments, I'm more in the field of electronic music, sound art, and with the acoustic violin, I'm working in the field of free improvisation. Yeah.
But do you think when you put the music, when you do the music like that, because I can assume you attract also a much younger audience?
Absolutely. That's also, I'm really excited to reach younger audience, because they come to me after the concert and say, "Wow, I've never heard somebody playing the violin like you." Yeah, and that's really something. I really like this. Yeah, especially my work with the electric violin.
And do you think that maybe this approach and the fact that you can show that, and that you have these young audiences, that also makes the music more approachable than, say, for younger people, so they can see, okay, this is what I can do. I'm not necessarily, if I play the violin, I have to play in an orchestra, but I can create my own music, and I can be more free with the instrument.
Absolutely, yeah. If
So
you have the ideas, if you have the visions, yeah.
So it makes the instrument seem more interesting then, in that sense.
Yeah, I think so. It's also more interesting for me.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that you have this amazing contact with the audience when you get that feedback, and then you must also feel that while you are performing.
Absolutely. There's always this energy in the space, and I can always react to the audience. This is also important in free improvisation, and it's always a dialogue between the musicians, but also between the musicians and the audience. And you can react simultaneously. You can, yeah.
And maybe the audience is also more free to react, because I think sometimes in the concert hall you're a little bit you feel a bit sort of restricted to really get that emotion going.
Absolutely, yeah. So they are part of the whole process. Yeah.
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 And do you play together in a band, or do you do solo concerts?
I'm doing solo concerts, but also I have several trios or duos, quartets, smaller ensembles, and I'm playing a lot around the world. Yeah.
And this improvisation that you're doing, and the type of music that you're doing, is that something you can teach somebody, or do you have to have that something that's to feel that music that you will be able to play it?
I mean, it's difficult to teach. I mean, it's possible to open some new spaces for young people, for students, but then they have to find their own way. Yeah.
And I can presume that when they're classically trained, that's a barrier that they have to overcome to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And even then, it's again very difficult to create or find an own specific musical language. Yeah. And develop this language.
Did you sometimes feel pressure in the sense that you wondered, is this okay what I'm doing? Or did you always have the confidence to just go out there and do your own thing?
Absolutely. That
Really?
was never a question for me. So
really? Oh, that's amazing.
I'm like, like a child discovering new sounds, and then it makes me really happy if it works and I created something new. Yeah. So it's
so that excitement drives you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
But that's so wonderful. And I love that you have that confidence, and I love that you just do your own thing without pressure, without wondering if, it would be acceptable. Because that's something that's difficult, I think, also for young musicians nowadays, because they have the pressure on, and the competition is so fierce here in Vienna especially, but all over the world,
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's so important. Music is not only about success, money, power, it's also excitement and to be curious and to have fun. Why not? Yeah. And to explore. For me, music is more like science. Yeah. It's not only entertainment. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
For me, it's important to explore something new. Yeah. And I think that is also why experimental music is so necessary for this world, because we are exploring, finding new sounds, new possibilities. And these new sounds also influence other musicians, even from other genres, like Kraftwerk would have never been existed without Stockhausen.
Yeah.
The Kraftwerk musicians started with Stockhausen. Without Stockhausen, Kraftwerk wouldn't exist, or a lot of other bands. Yeah.
That's so true, and it's it has to evolve. Music has to evolve.
Yeah. Like science.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is something that many musicians also have said to me, is that it's that feeling when you think you've touched somebody through your music. That's the most important thing. It's not always about the applause, but it's sometimes that person that comes to you afterwards and saying, hey, I've just been touched so much through your music. And you must have that experience as well in by the way you do your music and your outlook.
Yeah. So for me, it's very easy to create a communication with the audience. Even if they don't know my music, even if they don't understand this kind of music, but in the moment, they can feel the energy, the intensity, and also the emotions, of course. And then it's easy to create something together. Yeah.
Now, you've done so much and so creative. I just absolutely love, and I love your energy and the fact that you do your own thing. But what are the wishes for you for the future? What do you still want to achieve?
Yeah, that's a good question. At the moment, I'm exploring atomic sounds.
Okay.
So very, very little, sounds, and scientists are able to make this what is called Schwingung.
Oh yeah, waves.
The waves hearable. So
okay.
Yeah, and so these sounds are influencing me, my work, because I think these atomic sounds are the codes for the future, for future developments, not only in music, in the world, in the society.
Amazing. Yeah. So that sounds that we don't hear, but that we or subconsciously we hear the sounds.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's amazing that you can do that. Have you had experiments with that where you could see that people hear that or sense that?
You can transpose the waves and make them hearable. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's very interesting. So that is
For me, it's important, the question, what is the further development? Yeah. What is the future? What is the future of music? Yeah. And I'm also experimenting a lot with artificial intelligence software, for example. So, and this is also very good in combination with improvisation, because as an improviser, you really can react to the software, and the software is simultaneously reacting to your playing. So this is with the score, it wouldn't be possible, because I would play the score and the artificial intelligence would do something, But now with the improvisation, we can really create a dialogue between me and the artificial intelligence software.
But this is so amazing that that you found a positive way, because sometimes we hear all these negative things about the artificial intelligence, and you found now a way to use it positively.
Absolutely, yeah. Also I'm exploring the possibilities.
Really?
Yeah.
But it seems you've done this forever. You just keep on exploring. You've got a very scientific.
And it never stops, because always new possibilities are coming up, and yeah.
So if everybody gets scared about some new thing, you are out there and you're saying, "Hey, let's do it, and let's go for it."
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. That's so wonderful that you have that personality. Do you have that in other things as well, with other aspects of your life?
I mean, I would get crazy. I'm just concentrating in music.
Yeah. No, that's so great that you have that, that you have that personality. So
I have no fear for the. I mean, what comes will come.
Exactly. Yeah.
I also think that the past shows us that it was always, in a way, the development was always, finally it was good. I mean,
yeah, we forget that there used to be no piano, and then the piano was invented, and I can assume that many musicians then got scared also about, there's a new instrument now, and I wonder if it's also this. Sometimes when people don't know about it, it causes fear. But the moment you start seeing how you can use it and how you can use it to your advantage, then it makes that, it makes it just another tool.
absolutely.
But Mia, this was so lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. And thank you so much for doing it in English. I know it's not your first language.
Exactly.
But you've done great, and your English is great. And I wish you all the best, and for much more exploring and much more creating with music. And whatever comes up, the next thing, you will be there. You will be one exploring it.
Thank you. And maybe seeing you next time in reality.
Yeah, that would be
concert.
great. Let me know when you come to Vienna and when you have a concert. I would absolutely love to come and see you.
Yeah.
Okay.